Hello everyone, welcome to this session of class 6 mathematics, and I am Anu again for mathschool.1. Last class we have been seeing some problems in playing with numbers, isn't it? I have told you how to find LCM and HCF in long division method and some problems related to prime numbers, factors and multiples. And now we will continue with the other problems in this chapter. Okay, now we have seen some problems. I told you there are still more some methods to find HCF, and LCM too. We have the prime factorization method and the long division method. You know, generally the prime factorization method is done for each and every individual numbers which for which we are asked to find HCF or LCM. We'll find out prime factors separately for each and every number, then we group them and then we find the HCF or LCM. So I'll take particularly one set of number for HCF and one set of number for LCM, and I'll show you all the methods by which we can find out the HCF and LCM for those numbers. Okay, so now we shall do first the HCF. In HCF we have, I told you, we have a few techniques like first is by prime factorization, then the long division method, then the Euclid's algorithm, then the division algorithm we have seen. So let us take set of numbers. See, like we have done for 675 and 900. Yesterday we have done this by long division method. So I think we need not repeat the long division method. We will take up with the prime factorization method for these two numbers. So prime factorization, when I do, so it is divisible by 5, 3s are 15, 135, and 2s are 13, 27, goes in 3, 3s are 9, so that's it. Now 5, 4, 8, 180, again 5, 3s are 15, 36, now this again, in 3, 4 times, so 2 2s are 4. So we have got the prime factors. Now we need to list them. 675 is equal to 5 into 5 into 3 into 3 into 3. Okay, now for 900 it is 5 into 5 into 3 into 3 into 2 into 2. Now we are finding HCF, the highest common factor. So I need to find the common factors in both the numbers. Okay, so what are the common factors in both the numbers? I need to pair them. So 3 is common here, another 3 is common here, and that's it. There is no other number common to both the numbers. So I write the common numbers. I take the common numbers and multiply them. So 5 5s are 25, 25 3s are 75, and 75 3s are 225. That is what yesterday we got, isn't it? 225 is the HCF. So this is right. So this is the prime factorization method by which we find the HCF. Okay. So there is another method. I hope you understood this problem, where we find HCF by pairing the common factors. We need to take one number from this. See, for 2 5s, from this pair we need to take 1 5, from this pair we need to take 1 5, from this 1 3, and from this 1 3. The rest of the things are not common to both the numbers, so I leave them. And I need to multiply all the common factors. That will give you the HCF. Now we do the Euclid's algorithm. We will find HCF by Euclid's algorithm. So what do you mean by Euclid's algorithm? So let me explain with this example. Now this 900 has to be taken as the dividend and 675 has to be the divisor. The smallest number is always the divisor, isn't it? So we need to take this as the divisor. Now 675 ones are 675. So I need to divide it as actual division. So 5, 9 minus 7 is 2, and 8 minus 6 is 225. Isn't it? Now there is 225 here. What do I do is, I keep on dividing the number, keep on dividing this number until I get 0. Okay, until I get 0. See 225. I can do this with 25 also. See, if I do it with 25, I'll be getting 25 into 10s are 25 10s are 250, isn't it? So 25 9s are 225, and I'll get 0 as the remainder here. See, now you'll be a little bit confused as whether we take 25, but previously we had what we had 225 as the HCF, isn't it? Here too, see, you have 225 here, and I've divided this by 25 and got a remainder 0. Now let me do it in another way. You see, I'll tell you the difference. How do we approach the sum here? 5, 2, 2. Isn't it? This 9 is 9 times. Okay. So 0 is the remainder here. Now as per this division, 25 is your HCF. It is HCF as of this division, isn't it? But here what do we do? See, this 225, I need to take 225 here. So other than 25, is there some other factor which divides 225? Some other factor? So let me check with 75 5s. No. 75 3s. Yes, it is there. 15. 225. Isn't it? 75 also divides 225. Now I am getting 3 times 75, 3 times. Now still another way. See, I am telling you the difference. You get 225 here. So more than 225 if I see, more than 225 if I see, I get 225 itself. 225 ones are 225. So you get 0 here, isn't it? So 225 is also a factor. Now you see, you have 3 factors which gives you a remainder 0, because I told you whatever divisor which is responsible for getting a remainder 0 is termed as HCF, I told you. But here in this case we have 3 divisors which will give you 0 here respectively. So what do I do? Which factor I choose? Now it is obviously 225, not because I know the answer, because this is your highest common factor. This 25 and 75 are lower than the lesser than 225, isn't it? So naturally we need to take 225 as the HCF, because among 25, 75 and 225, 225 is the highest common factor. As the name suggests, you need to choose the highest common factor. Do you understand? So that is why we take 225 as the HCF. So this is how we proceed sums using Euclid's algorithm. Now the next one, the last one is by division algorithm. Division algorithm, we know dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. This is your division algorithm, isn't it? So dividend is always a greater number, is equal to, what is the divisor? It is 675 into what is the quotient? Plus 1, and your remainder is 225. Now what happens is, see the next step, divisor, I told you divisor comes here, because among the divisor and the remainder we are concerned with the divisor and the remainder, not the quotient. So divisor comes to dividend side and the remainder comes to the divisor place. Okay, now 225, what is 675? How can I represent 675 by 225? I multiply it with 3, 15, 7, 6. So 3 times. 225 into 3 plus remainder is 0, because it is exactly divisible by 225. So whatever divisor is responsible to get the remainder 0, then that divisor is the HCF in division algorithm. So the divisor 225 gives you a remainder 0. So 225 is the HCF. Now do you understand the division algorithm for HCF? Yes. Okay. Now just remember regarding HCF and LCM, you need to understand that HCF is the highest common factor, but factors are always smaller numbers. So when two numbers are given, you need to understand the HCF will be smaller than the two numbers, or it will be equal to the smaller number. Okay. When 675 900 is given, you get a HCF of 225. So it is smaller than both the numbers. Sometimes the smaller number, the HCF may be the smaller number among the two numbers also. So it can be equal to or lesser than the smaller number when you need to find the HCF. That you need to remember very much. Then regarding LCM, what is LCM? It's a multiple, isn't it? So it will be equal to the greater number, or it will be equal to the greater number or greater than the greater number among the numbers given. Okay. Now we will see an example of it also. See 28, 36, 45 and 60 yesterday we saw by long division, isn't it? So by doing prime factorization method, how do we approach LCM? How do we do LCM? Now 36, it is 2, 18, 9, 3 into 3 and 1 times. Now for 45 it is 5, 9s are 45, 3 3s are 9, 3 1s are 3. Now for 60 it is 2, 30 times, 2 15 times and 5 3 times, 3 1 times. Okay. Now I will list all the numbers, all the prime factors. 2 into 2 into 7, 36 is 2 into 2 into 3 into 3, and for 45 it is 5 into 3 into 3, and for 60 it is 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. Now what do I do for the prime factorization method is, how do I continue with this is, for my convenience I take, see I write the short form for 2 into 2 into 7, that is 2 to the power 2. What is this power? This is called power or the exponent. It says how many times the number gets multiplied. So if I write 2 to the power 2, it means it is multiplied 2 times. It is not 2 into 2, but anyway 2 into 2 and 2 squared is same, but it is not the same for the case of other numbers. If 5 squared is given, 5 squared means 5 into 5. It is not 5 into 2, because 5 into 5 is 25 and 5 into 2 is 10. So it will be totally wrong. So you shouldn't multiply the number in the top. You should multiply that much number of times the number given here underneath. That is the base. Okay. So this is called the base and this is called the exponent. So the base number is multiplied that much time as it is written in the top. So 7 to the power 1. Now here how much times it is repeated? 2 times. So 2 squared, it is called square. 2 squared and 3 squared. Now for the third number it is 5 power 1 and 3 squared. Now for the fourth number it is 2 squared, 3 power 1 into 5 power 1. Now how do we find LCM from this? If I remember quite well, the LCM for these four numbers were 1260, isn't it? So let us check whether it is the same now. Now what do I do is, I see first I take 2. Okay. So after taking this 2, I see what is the maximum power I have in all the four numbers. Maximum power for 2. Maximum power for 2 is 2, just 2, because 2 squared and here 2 squared. So I need to take the maximum power, that is 2 squared. Okay, maximum power is 2, that is 2 upon 2. If there is somewhere it is 2 to the power 3, I just take 2 to the power 3. So you take maximum number of 2's. So maximum number of 2's here is just 2 times. And then let us see 3. See, you have 3 to the power 1 here, 3 to the power 2 here and 3 to the power 2 here. So the maximum power is 3 to the power 2. So I take 3 to the power 2. Now in 2 I take next 5. 5, see 5 to the power 1, 5 to the power, maximum is 5 to the power 1. So I take 1, 5 to the power 1 and 7 to the power is, so I take all the numbers but provided I see how many times it occurs. So the maximum time of, see the maximum time of occurrence is what I need for LCM. So I multiply all these things, that is 4 into 9 into 5 into 7. 4 5s are 20, 20 into 9 is 180. So 180 into 7 is 0, 56, carry 5, 12. 1260. So exactly we got 1260. So now do you understand how do we find LCM? By prime factorization method, and I have also showed you how to find HCF in all the methods. Okay, now it is, I think it will be clear for you what is HCF and how do you find HCF and how do you find LCM. And now I will tell you one thing, that is LCM is a bigger number, isn't it? LCM is even if it says least common multiple is always a greater number. Factor is always lesser number and multiple is always a greater number. So multiple is always either equal to or greater than the greatest number in the given from the given numbers. So when I have 28, 36, 45 and 60, so it can be either equal to 60 or greater than 60. So naturally 1260 is greater than 60, isn't it? So it will be a greater number. So multiples are always greater numbers, that you should keep in mind. Okay. So we will go to the next point. We'll move on to the next one. Now I need to explain you some other relationship between LCM and HCF. Now we know how to find HCF and LCM. I'll tell you what is the relationship between both HCF and LCM. That is the relationship of HCF and LCM is given as HCF into LCM. That is the product of HCF and LCM is the product of two numbers. When two numbers are given and if there are some two numbers and for those two numbers you are given HCF or LCM, you can find the other one. How? By multiplying the two numbers, and whichever is given you need to divide it by that, you will get the other one. Do you understand what I say? See, let us take an example. See, for 40 and 48, these are the two numbers. 40 and 48 are the two numbers, and HCF for these two numbers is 8, isn't it? Because 8 5s are 40 and 8 6 are 40. That is the highest common factor for these two. So HCF is 8. Now what is the LCM? I need not find LCM by either by prime factorization method or long division method. No, I just need to apply the formula that says HCF into LCM, that is 8 into LCM is equal to 40 into 48. Now what is LCM? You bring 8 to this side, 8 to this side, 6 8s are 48, isn't it? So 240. So 240 is your LCM. You understand? So how do we get 240? Just by applying the relationship or the formula regarding HCF and LCM. So HCF into LCM is equal to product of those two numbers. So that is how we get, if one is known, you get the other by the above relationship. Okay, have you noted it down? Yes. Now the next thing we move on is, now simple questions, just for 2-3 minutes. I'll just ask you some questions, simple questions. You try to answer and we'll explain it. Is it correct to say that HCF of 8 and 15 is 0? See, HCF of 8 and 15 is 0. Is it right to say 0 HCF? No, it is not right, because HCF will not be 0 anyway. 8 and 15 are what? They are co-prime numbers, because they don't have any factor in common, isn't it? They don't have any factor in common. So the HCF is always 1. For co-prime numbers, the HCF is always 1. So HCF is equal to 0 is not the right answer. So 1 is the right answer. HCF is 1 for co-prime numbers. They don't have any other number, they don't have any other factor in common. Next are 16 and 81 co-prime. 16 and 81 co-prime. So we see that there is no common factor for 16 and 81. 81 has factors like 1, 3, 9, 27, isn't it? So 81, if I say 81, like 13 is also a factor of 81, but 16 has 2, 4, 8, 16, isn't it? So there is no common factor. So 1 is the common factor for both the numbers. So I can say those two numbers are co-prime. Okay. Next is the numbers that are multiples of 2. We know what is the multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are multiples of 2, and they are all called the even numbers, isn't it? They are called even numbers. Is 10 a perfect number? Now what is a perfect number? We know the factors. If I list down the factors of 10 and I add them, 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 10, I get 18. But 18 is not double the 10. 2 times 10 is 20, but we just get 18 here. So 10 is not a perfect number. So what is the definition of perfect number? When I add all the factors of the number, it should be double the number. But here it is not double the number, isn't it? So 10 is not a perfect number. Every number is a factor of itself, isn't it? Every number is a factor. 8 is a factor of itself, because we say 8 ones are 8. 8 is perfectly divisible by 8. So it's a factor of itself. The smallest perfect number. So what is the smallest perfect number? Note 6. Because 1, 2, 3 and 6. If you add, it comes to 12. So 6 is the smallest perfect number. Okay. Next one, the smallest prime number. We know the smallest prime number is an even prime number, that is 2 is the smallest prime number. And smallest composite number is 4, because 2, 3 is also prime number. So the first composite number is 4. And one neither is which is neither prime nor composite is 1. 1 is a unique number. We call 1 as unique number because it is neither prime nor composite. Okay. Then the sum of two odd numbers. Yesterday we saw, isn't it, the sum of two odd numbers. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. So anyway, if two odd numbers are added, you get a even number. Okay. Next, the LCM of two numbers is in which one is a factor of other. So this you need to see, the LCM of two numbers in which one is a factor of other. How does this happen? If I write 2, 4 and 8, 3 and 12, 9 and 18. See, 1 is a factor of other, 4 is a factor of 8, 3 is a factor of 12, 9 is a factor of 18. So in these sets, what is the LCM of these two numbers? Naturally 8, isn't it? So 8 is the LCM of these two numbers, 12 is the LCM of these two numbers, and 18 is the LCM of these two numbers. So the bigger number in which one is a factor of another, then the bigger number will be the LCM there. Do you understand? Next is the smallest factor of 856. Smallest factor. What is the smallest factor? Factor list starts from 1, isn't it? It goes on and it ends with 856, isn't it? So the smallest factor is 1 and the largest factor is 856. When you do multiples for 856, then what happens? The smallest multiple is 856. See, when I write multiples of 856, I start from 856, isn't it? So it goes on, it is endless. So we can only say the smallest multiple. The smallest multiple is 856. But regards to factors, the smallest factor is 1 and the largest factor is 856 itself. So 1 is a factor of every number and the number is a factor of itself. So 856 becomes the largest factor of itself. And the sum of three consecutive numbers. See, if I write 2, 3, 4, I have 2 even numbers and 1 odd. If I take 3, 4, 5, I have 2 odd numbers and 1 even. So let us take 2 examples where we take 3 consecutive is next numbers. If I add all these things, see, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 plus 5 is 12. So if I add 3 consecutive numbers, when two numbers are even and one is odd, you get odd. When two even numbers are there and one is odd, when two odd numbers are there and one is even, you get an even number. Do you understand? So what is the result from this is, if you have 2 odd numbers, then the sum will always be even. Okay, the sum is always even. If you have one odd number, if you have only one odd number, then the sum will always be an odd number. Do you understand? So odd number of odds will give you odd number. Even number of odds will give you even number. So that you need to keep in mind. So these are some of the problems, some of the one words and some of the problems regarding HCF and LCM we have done today. We have still more some problems which we will see in the next class. We will see some more problems in HCF and LCM which will make you understand more about HCF and LCM. So that's it for this class, and I say goodbye today, and this is Anu from mathschool.1. Thank you.